Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we are taking a look at Azrael from Batman Arkham City Wave 3. And let me just tell you, right off the bat, this figure is awesome. Okay, yes, I said it like that to be funny, but this is a beautiful, beautiful looking figure. Not to say I wasn't an Azrael fan. Yes, he's part of the Batman family. But first of all, this is not Jean-Paul Valley from the Nightfall saga. It is Michael Washington Lane. Since I've already kind of said who he is, we'll read the bio. Now, the bio comes from Wikipedia, as it is not in the Arkham City strategy guide. If you've played the video game, you know that Azrael is a side mission character. I think it's called The Mysterious Stranger, that the video game plays it as if Batman has no idea who Azrael and the Order of Saint Dumas is at all, which is kind of, I don't know, it kind of bothers me a little bit. You can have Bane in the game and Batman knows who Bane is, and Bane broke Batman's back, and then Jean-Paul Valley, Azrael took over for Batman, who has the Order of Saint Dumas, so this Azrael comes after Jean-Paul Valley, so Batman should know who it is, but for the sake of the video game, they kind of made it like, ooh, who is this person? So that's a little bit of continuity issue, but still for the overall sake of the game, I'm going to let it slide because it was such a great game. So the strategy guide went with the idea of like, we're just not going to print the information. And when you unlock the artwork of the character that you see here, you don't get any information. So people had to go through and not make one up. This is who the character is. Most people that know the Batman family knew who this was going into it. So the write-up here for Azrael says, Azrael appears in Arkham City. He watches Batman and can be found around the city, leaving the Dark Knight cryptic clues throughout the game. Is also labeled as unknown once every one of his challenges is complete. His bio is completely unlocked, revealing information that Michael, that indeed is Michael. Okay, so that's right. Once you beat it, it does come out, but the strategy guide left that out. I completely forgot about that. So once you beat it, you find out who he is. The biography says, born Michael Lane, Azrael was once a police officer based in Gotham City. His first appearance in Batman series was in March 2009 in Azrael, Death's Mask Night #1. Lane was once part of an initiative to create the ultimate crime fighter, however, turned into a criminal. Once captured by Batman, Lane confessed his sins to a priest in the Order of Purity. He was then recruited to fight evil as Crusader Azrael, while wearing the suit and sword and using the sword of sin, the sin of sorrows will defeat Lane if he does not keep his soul pure. Wow, reading has not been my strong point during this review. So as you can see here, he was created by Denny O'Neil, Joe Quesada, and Grant Morrison. Affiliations: Gotham City Police Department, formerly teleportation, enhanced strength, stamina, speed via the Suit of Sorrows, police and military training. And you can see he's portrayed by Cray Payton. So, now that the reading's out of the way, thank you for bearing with me. This is a beautifully sculpted figure, and dare I say, as much as I love Batman from this wave, Azrael might be my favorite figure, just sculpted wise. A beautiful sculpted figure. This hood, I think, is a little bit better than the one on Robin. I think if they would have, kind of done this hood a little bit. Robin's hood flares out quite a bit, which, I'm okay with, but I think this is a better sculpted hood than the one that is on Robin. His cape-esque type things right here, which I think are really kind of cool. Not really a cape, but kind of almost like a Red Robin from the New 52 with these kind of little wing-looking things. But you can just see all the detailing that is on this figure. his little gauntlet here will turn into fire. So it looks like there's some type of tube running back to the figure back here somewhere. It looks like he has little canister of grenades strapped around his belt. Now these are all attached. The belt is a separately sculpted piece, so each one of these kind of independently move of each other. A good range of motion. My figure is really stiff, which is okay with. I'm okay with having stiff joints as opposed to loose and wobbly joints. This arm is also very stiff. It's always kind of weird moving your figures for the first time coming out of the package when things don't want to move. I'm like, I'm not going to force it. The gauntlets rotate. There's no rotation in the hand at all, either hand. The gauntlet rotates here. Kind of impeded by the hoses a little bit. They do kind of move, but there's not a whole lot of slack coming from it. Legs, I don't. Yes, they do. The tunic is really well placed, so his legs do move, and I'm being very cautious to not bust my figure. But the legs do move there. His knee, and then he has a twist at the boot. So pretty much the standard articulation. There's the Sword of Sins, and the sheath, which I think is pretty kind of cool that they created the sheath and the sword to work together. Really kind of neat. Now, the sheath has a hard time staying in by itself. If you can kind of see this, it'll fit. I kind of do this all together here. Put the sheath and the sword, it'll fit in this little loop right here. Holds really nicely. But if you take, I guess it does hold it okay. There's nothing really preventing it if I'm sliding out. So there's this extra little spot here that I kind of stick it in that just seems to hold it a little bit tighter to his body. And then he does hold the sword really well. But just as I kind of had him down, hopefully you saw all that where I've got it. You have a little loop in here, and then I just pull the belt out a little bit and I can kind of wedge the sheath in there. But just a beautiful looking figure. He has no waist turn either. But yeah, I mean, I love the Batman figure from this wave as much as I liked the infected Bruce Wayne. And I said, hey, if they put a cowl on this infected Bruce Wayne, it'll be a perfect Batman. And he is. And I even said he'll probably be one of my favorite figures. But man, Azrael, I thought was just going to be a really, really cool figure. And I definitely think this is a must-own. If you're building your Batman Rogues Gallery and friends and foes, this Azrael is a definite must-have. Just on paint applications and just how beautifully sculpted this figure is, even down, to buckles on, the knee brace, and you kind of see the straps for the knee braces right here, just the pouches and the tunic, just overall amount of detail. You can see the chainmail underneath there, and the dirt markings on the back of the shirt, and I could just go on for hours about this figure in case you can't tell. So if there's some of you that have been kind of on the fence of like, well, I don't know if I really want Azrael, or I'm just going to get some of the main ones, this is one to have. A definite great looking figure. I just can't say enough good things about it. Kind of have Batman here off to the side, so kind of get the two, as if they might be talking in the video game. Again, there's just not enough good things to say about this Azrael. I could kind of make a whole Azrael complete video for quite a while, just me rambling on about this figure. It's not one that I really knew very much about, or was a figure or a character that I was like, oh, I'm a huge Azrael fan, because don't get me wrong, I really wasn't. If it wasn't for the Nightfall Saga, I don't know if I'd ever really kind of known about Azrael. He basically came out because of the Nightfall Saga, But this particular character, I've not read a single issue with Michael Washington Lane as Azrael, and just kind of seeing this figure makes me kind of want to maybe check out an issue here or there. And I even kind of think maybe DC should bring this character back. I think sometimes that's the cool thing about collecting action figures and different type of things, that sometimes this is how we can kind of fall in love with a character because of a product that you buy, or a video game that you're playing makes you kind of want to go, I want to find out more about this. And I think this is going to be a really cool figure, but I'm going to have him standing, not in a back row somewhere, kind of have him towards the front. I think this will be a figure when my friends and family members, whoever goes into my room to look at my figures and things like that, I think I would gravitate towards this figure and go, well, this guy's kind of cool, who's that? So I think it's really kind of cool. I like the backstory of Azrael, how they're kind of, brainwashed, and I have to do right, I have to do good, but by the way, you got to kill somebody to do good. So I kind of like that about Azrael. So we're going to end the review here before I continue to fawn all over and I start making out with this figure. Did I just say that? I didn't say that. So anyway, today we've been taking a look at Azrael from Batman Arkham City Wave 3. And again, I'm going to say this is a must-have. Just a beautiful looking figure. So as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogue signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.